Okay, let's get right into it. A massive US-India trade deal? It didn't just fail, it was sabotaged.
And get this, a leaked recording from Senator Ted Cruz points to a civil war in U.S. trade policy. What's wild is that India was apparently ready to make a deal. The whole thing fell apart from the inside.
And we're talking about a huge deal here. This was a massive win-win for both countries, for sure.
So who's to blame? Well, the leak points the finger at three key people. Let's break it down. First on the list, Peter Navarro. He was a top trade advisor with a pretty unique economic philosophy. See, for him, a trade deficit is basically a sign of weakness, a view that clashes with modern economics.
So he saw India as an unfair trader. His solution? Not a deal, but pure pressure and tariffs.
Okay, next up, the audio points to J.D. Vance. He represents that anti-globalization America First wing.
This whole idea is about prioritizing domestic manufacturing, no matter the cost to you, the consumer.
For Vance, it was all about politics. He was worried about losing blue-collar jobs and, of course, votes. And finally, the recording alleges that President Trump himself personally put the brakes on the whole deal.
But his reasoning was different. It wasn't about ideology, it was all about getting those public wins.
He needed a deal that made for a great headline, one that made him look like the clear winner.
The audio also captures Cruz's frustration with tariffs. He explains they're really just a tax on U.S. consumers.
So what's the big takeaway here? For starters, the leak pretty much clears India's name in this.
It also shows that U.S. foreign policy isn't a single voice. Domestic politics can torpedo any international agreement.
And this whole thing is part of a much bigger trend, right? A shift away from globalization toward nationalism.
But maybe the biggest hit is to America's credibility. Can other countries really trust its promises now?
Which leaves everyone wondering, if America's allies can't count on it, who will they turn to instead?